Hey everyone, this is our last video on the term paper and it's about the rubric. So let me scoot myself up. Okay, proficiency on the term paper is 60 points. If you get above a 60, your grade is final. If it's below 60, you can have one opportunity to fix it and turn it back in after you talk to your teacher. You must have that conference before you can do your term paper rewrite. Okay, so let's take a look. Our first criteria is historical evidence. It's 30% of the paper. You'll notice that we've got it broken down into high exact, low exact, high adjacent, low adjacent, and then divergent. And that's to give you a little bit more opportunity because there's a lot of points here. These points are set. It's not a range. So 30, 27, 24, 21, and 15 are the points that you would get. So as long as you have historical evidence, you'll at least get 15 points. Your points here are based on the evidence that you pull from your class notes. Do you have the right evidence? Is it correct? Is it appropriate for what you're doing? So if you're writing on government and politics, did you cover everything we talked in class about government and politics for the Jamestown, Virginia, Chesapeake colonies and the New England colonies? Did you not flip anything around or make any mistakes? The more accurate you are, the higher your score is going to be. Our next criteria is, I'm always in the way, aren't I? Historical skills. And this is, do you have a comparison? So it does your paper in every paragraph accurately do the following. Describe the Jamestown evidence, describe the New England evidence, and then describe the difference and explain the difference. If you do that thoroughly throughout the paper, then you'll get your 30 points. If you drop the ball somewhere and you forget a description of your argumentation or you don't explain it, that's going to fall in here. But what we're looking at is, as we read this paper, does it feel and sound like an overall comparison paper highlighting the differences between the two colonies? Next is argumentation. This is based on those last two parts of each paragraph. Do you correctly describe the difference? And do you have your explanation of why that difference occurred? So that is your argumentation points. Next up is your research. Your outside research is worth 20 points. The more you have, the higher you're going to go on the scale. And by more, that doesn't mean by volume. That means there are 6 opportunities. If you take all 6 opportunities and you have information that supplements in-class learning, and it's factually correct information from credible sources, you land here. If you don't have it for all 6 points, let's say you have it for 3 or 4, you fall into adjacent. If you only have it for 1 or 2, you fall into divergent. And if you don't have any, then it's a 0. So it's not the volume of outside information. If you look at the sample paragraph, that's a sentence or 2 for each. It doesn't have to be long. It's how much do you have for each of the 6 opportunities. And then finally is your style and mechanics. This is your score for APA and spelling, punctuation, and grammar. This is your overall appearance as an academic paper. If it's relatively error-free in spelling, mechanics, and grammar, if your references are done correctly and your in-text citations and title page are done correctly, which they should be because now you have EasyBib and Scribber to make sure that they are, then you'll fall at this end. It's going to follow me around. If you have major errors with spelling and punctuation, tone shift, remember this is past tense, right, and past tense, then you're going to fall in the divergent category. And if it's just horrible and it looks like you wrote it at 3 a.m. and didn't do any proofing on it, you're going to get 0 points for that. So style mechanics, 10%. Historical research is 20%. Argumentation is 10%. Comparison and doing that comparison accurately and correctly is 30%. And then using the right evidence from the in-class lessons is 30%. Altogether, 100 points, proficiency at 60%. Got to catch myself there. If you have questions about the rubric, feel free to email or ask your instructor. And as always, have a great day. I don't think that.